Speedroid just got a massive upgrade. So as you guys might know, we recently got a level cap increase, which has led to a whole bunch of level up rewards. Some of which are really cool, some of which we choose not to talk about, and of course we got some Speedroid cards, which is really cool considering earlier this month as a ranked reward, we got a brand new Synchro monster for Speedroid as well. So we combined all these brand new cards together, Speedroid got significantly stronger. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before I get into the deck list, if you guys are enjoying today's video and want to see some more content and more deck lists just like this one in the future, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel down below. Alright, let's jump into this deck list. So Speedroid has gotten itself 3 brand new cards to play with the most important of those 3 of course being your High Speedroid Cork Shooter. This card is absolutely game changing for this archetype. What this card does is a level 3 monster that when it is synchro summoned, you can either add 1 Speedroid spell and trap from your deck to your hand, or you can special summon back the synchro materials used to summon this card, effectively making this thing a free level 3 monster you can just summon to the field in Speedroid, which might not sound like much at first, but when you see the replays and the combos this deck can do, it has enhanced the combos of this deck dramatically. You'll see what I mean when we get to the gameplay portion of the video. Also remember, like I said, it can search for a spell and trap card as well, but you're not going to be doing that as often. It's way more common just to summon back the materials and just end on some really ridiculous end fields. Next up, we have the brand new trap card, your Speedroid Duplicate. This card, basically we're only playing a single copy of it because, like I said before, it is now searchable, so if you ever need it against a specific matchup or a specific archetype where you just want to make sure you have some back row and some front row, now we can search for this card as well. What this card does is you can banish 1 wind monster from your graveyard, then target 1 card your opponent controls and return it to hand. So basically just a pseudo compulse style card. Additionally, when it's in the graveyard, during your main phase, if this card's in the graveyard, you can target 1 level 2 or higher Speedroid monster, reduce level by 1, and summon this thing to the field as a normal monster. It's a level 1 tuner monster when it's on the field. So this can come up sometimes, you'll see it at least 1 time during the replays I'll show off, so it does come up sometimes, but most of the time, it's just a searchable compulse this archetype now has access to. And the final new card for this archetype is of course the brand new ranked reward, your Clear Wing Fast Dragon. This thing, basically we're only really using it because a lot of your end fields are now going to end on your Wing Rider. This thing sends itself to the graveyard to summon out 2 level 7 synchro monsters from your extra deck. One is going to be your synchro monster, your Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, and the other one is going to be this card. This thing has a whole bunch of text, and you pretty much can ignore all of it. The only part of the text you need to worry about is during your opponent's turn, you can target an extra deck monster your opponent has summoned, reduce its attack to 0, and negate its effects. So it's just another negate for the deck, just for extra deck monsters your opponent might summon. Particularly good against things that this thing can't negate, so if your opponent has like a Link monster or an Xyz monster, because this thing only deals with like levels, we now have an extra negate that can sort of deal with those things. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the decklist portion of the video. The rest of the video will be gameplay showcasing this decklist in action, and without further ado, let's jump into some gameplay. Alright, so as you guys know, Speedroid is a combo deck. So for these replays, I've specifically gone on the ladder and gone and grabbed replays showing as many specific hands as I possibly could, showing off all the different combos you need to know in order to play this deck, because there is a lot of combos for it now, especially with this brand new card. It's sort of changed this deck from being very sort of one-dimensional into being, oh, I have an option for things to do with my opening hand, or just it's just a lot more advanced than it used to be. So I've gone ahead, I've gathered a whole bunch of replays, most of which are just showing off individual different hands, and a couple going second as well, because people probably want to see this deck going second as well. So that's what these replays are. So I've gone ahead and gathered basically 1 replay for every specific hand I was looking for, so yeah. And also if you're wondering why I didn't rank up too many times during these replays, it's because, well, 1, I kept screwing up my combos, and 2, I conceded a billion different games until I got specific hands to show in the video, so that's why there wasn't too many rank ups or win streaks. I was doing a lot of conceding. Alright, so for this hand, we were showing off the Probably the most optimal hand you can do with this deck, because it plays around things like DD Crow and it plays around things like Nibiru as well. And it's typically really good if you're looking for specific tech cards you're playing in your deck list. So in this case, I'm up against Blue Eyes. And I know against Blue Eyes, I really want my Blizzard, because it's so goddamn good against both the spell cards they can search for. So what we're going to do is going to use our Channeler to search for our Terrortop, and the opening hand for this one is Terrortop plus your Yo-Yo, or plus the level 3 that can special summon itself. Alright, so if you open this hand, this is probably what you want to do most of the time. So special summon your Tyrant Tomborg, summon your Piper. Not going to use the effect of Piper just yet, because we can use it later on. Going to summon out the Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. I won't show this animation every single time, but we'll show it at least once. Alright. Put the dice on the field, and there is your Crystal Wing. So that plays around, really easily plays around things like, if your opponent has any hand traps now, you can negate them, so pretty nice. Now we're going to normal summon the Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo's going to revive the dice. Adjust the level to level 2, summoning out the brand new card, the Cork Shooter. Cork Shooter effect, it's going to be summoning back the 2 materials used to make it. Dice effect, adjusting the level, making the puzzle. So we made this this card a level 3. Using the skill to send the Duke to the graveyard. Duke can then revive the tuner, and now we're going to use the Piper. So now we can look at the top 3 cards to hopefully hit the Blizzard, which we did. Perfect. Alright, these two become the Kite Drake, and we just need to make Kite Drake purely because the Synchro monster we're going into needs the Synchro monster as material. Making the Wing Rider. Going to use Wing Rider's effect, even though our opponent has nothing to destroy, because we want to shuffle cards back. Unfortunately, we hit a 1. Typically, you want to shuffle back most of the Synchros we put in the graveyard, so you want to shuffle back the Kite Drake as well, and generally you want to shuffle this back. But in this case, the most important thing to shuffle back is the level 7, because you want to have 2 level 7 targets for this thing to summon. Alright, send 2 passing, end phase, your puzzle adds a card back to hand, adding back your Yo-Yo. Alright, so going to be negating his summon of his Dragon Spirit of White. Then we're going to summon both these cards from my extra deck. I think he just concedes here because he's got nothing else to do. We've even got the Blizzard set ready to go. Alright, so that replay might seem a little bit overwhelming to most people that haven't really played Speedroid. They're looking at this hand and they're like, what the hell did you just do? Feel free to rewatch this part of the video if you want to just try to learn that combo, because I'm going to be honest, I forget this combo a billion. I've forgotten this combo a lot when I was trying to just record these replays. Another reason why I lost a few games, just because I just kept screwing up my combos. It's not too hard once you've just actually learned it, but it does take a little bit of learning to make sure you get everything in the right order. Alright, on to our next one. So I think the next 2 replays are just going second replays, and then we go back to the specific combos. Alright. So up against, I think this guy was Sky Striker, I think. Alright, so we'll fast forward his turn. Don't particularly care what he does. Blah 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 blah, Sky Strikery stuff. Activate spell card, activate spell card. Alright, so finally passed the turn. Alright, using this Channeler's discard for our Terrortop. Activate Terrortop, get a search, he's going to try to negate it. We're going to use our Eclipse here to prevent the negation. Unfortunately, our Terrortop does get flipped face down, but at least we still get the search. Grabbing our Borg. Yo-Yo going to revive. He's going to banish my card, which is a little bit annoying, but it's still fine, because we can special summon, banish, put a level 4 on field. Look at the top one, try to hit something, hit a duplicate. Kite Drake going to make the field disappear. Alright, send one to graveyard, hit him, and then pass. Not sure if that was the most optimal sort of way to play through this field, but it's what we ended up doing. I'm not the best Speedroid player around anyway. I definitely shouldn't have used this. I used this to remove this for some reason. He's just going to trigger his thing to summon itself back, so I take even more damage. This is stupid. Alright, Kite Drake can add back to hand though, which is nice. Oh, sorry, search my deck. Alright, thankfully we didn't die though. We managed to survive, barely. Alright, gonna use our Yo-Yo to revive the level 3. He's going to negate this. Duplicate can actually use this effect in Graveyard to summon itself to the field by making a monster lose 1 level. Alright, now I can use the Daigo Juke to summon back to level 4. Finally hitting the Blizzard, which would have been fantastic earlier. Alright, normal summoning, making the Clear Wing. Everybody's seen that. Making the Crystal Wing. And I put it in this zone, in the extra monster zone, despite seeing my opponent search for this spell card. I actually have no brain in this duel. I know I made another misplay later on too. My god, I have no brain. I could be negating the card in Graveyard. Yeah, I should have put it over here, then he couldn't have done this. This was like, bruh. Alright, normal summoning. Didn't use the effect for some reason. I was thinking I didn't have any tuners left to summon, so there's no point in using it. But I should have summoned back the card that had 1200 attack, because I would have had lethal here. So another misplay. But it's fine. Blizzard's going to negate that. And yeah, he's done so. Alright, moving on. That was a very badly played duel, I'll be honest. I mean, it was an example of going second anyway. Right, this is another example going second, and this one was showing off... My opponent didn't exactly have the most insane infield, but I wanted to show off the double nuke this did, because it's kind of cool. So our opponent was playing some sort of weird Rose Dragon-y thing with Drag Unity stuff, I don't really know. He was playing to Synchro Summon during my turn anyway, so I'm just like, I'm gonna Book a Moon this. No, thank you. Terrortop searching for Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo normal summon. Attacking Tombour, gonna be swapping over for the dice. Basically just speed running straight to my board nuke. So summoning the Clear Wing, placing level 1 on the field. There's the Kite Drake going to boom the field. He revives 2 back. And thankfully, because we haven't used our normal summon yet, we just use Yo-Yo, revive the dice. We're making a Cork Shooter reviving all the materials we just used. Making Wing Rider. Destroying the remaining 2 cards and shuffling back if we choose to. And we can even still end on a Crystal Wing. And we can send to the graveyard, revive the dice, and make Crystal Wing. Or, yeah, Crystal Wing. Alright. I even could have played that slightly better too, because I could have made it so there was an extra level 7 in the extra deck for this dude to summon back. But it was fine. Alright, back to the more combo replays. So the final replays are all going first, and they're all very specific hands. Alright. So this hand, I think, was the Terrortop plus something else. I think I was showing the trap search. Yeah, it was. Okay. So Wind Channeler going to discard a search for Terrortop, and this is going to look. This is another variation of the first replay you saw. Only this time, I'm going to be searching for the trap card. So if you're in a matchup where you're worried about getting hit by like a book of, maybe you've got no cards in hand that can potentially be used if you get hit by an Eclipse or a Droplet, then you can search for a trap card in this deck. So we're going to summon out the Terrortop, search for the Titan Tombour, special summon, tribute itself, summoning the dice this time. Dice can be reduced into level 2 to make the Cork Shooter, and Cork Shooter, rather than reviving 2 monsters, is going to search for your trap card. So while this is still a pretty good hand into those specific things that I just mentioned, where maybe you're scared of getting hit by a Droplet or scared of getting hit by a Eclipse or something, typically it ends with less follow-up, and you might even be able to hit the trap card just by looking up the top cards of your deck anyway in the previous combo, so I'm not sure how much I like this combo, but I thought I'd show it off anyway. Alright, Yo-Yo going to be reviving. Dice can be changing this card to level 6. Making the Hagoshia, or how do you pronounce this thing? Reviving the dice with the level 3. This level 3, by the way, you'll notice that I already had it in the graveyard because I discarded it. Typically at this point, you just activate the skill to put it in the graveyard. So you don't need to open this card, the skill can put it in the graveyard for you. Alright, reviving the dice, making your Crystal Wing. Hagoshia revive. Making the Clear Wing. Oh, sorry, the Wing Rider. shuffling it all back, and setting 2 cards. Alright, so our opponent's going to have Eclipse this time, so it's actually a pretty good replay to show off just what I mean. If you're worried about that in particular. Like you didn't open a Blizzard or something. Alright, Eclipse going to be trying to flip face down, he hasn't been Lance. And I think he just screwed up here with whatever he was trying to do because he conceded immediately. But I did still have the duplicate to remove something anyway, so... not the worst. Alright, so next up, I think this one is Solo Terrortop hand, I think. So we've got Solo Terrortop hand, and I've got the level 4 plus level 3, and the final one is just level 4. Alright, so I'm going to use this to search for our Terrortops. This is just a Terrortop hand. Terrortop searching for the Borg. Borg going to special summon. Summoning the dice, making the Cork Shooter, reviving the 2 monsters back. Making level 4 to make Agosha. Dumping the level 3 revive the die. Die making level 6, so we make level 7. Agosha revive, these 2 make the Crystal Wing. Set 2 and pass. Now keep in mind, by the way, if you're against a deck like specifically Lyrilisk or something, you can actually do fairly decent fields that also end with just the Agosha on field, because Agosha contributes itself to adjust the levels of monsters on field, so you can use it to change levels of your opponent's monsters by increasing, because you contribute this, increase levels of all monsters currently on the field. So you increase all the Lyrilisk monsters by 1, which means they can't actually go into their Xyz monsters, so keep that in mind. This card can be annoying against various Xyz decks, or even some Synchro decks and stuff. We're just screwing up levels if you want to keep this on the field and go for various other end fields. Alright. Because a lot of the time, this card actually isn't that great against a lot of things. You could just end on the level 5 instead, or something. Alright. So our opponent had a tribute here. Thankfully, we have our quick play spell to negate it. Unfortunately, Blizzard's actually a hard once per turn, so I couldn't use it a second time if he had the fusion or something. Normal summon the Yo-Yo. He's going to use a Successor Soul. We have another Blizzard. I really love Blizzard. Such a cool card. Alright. Dice can be changing the level to level 6, but we're going to make the Kite Drake to negate everything on field, which negates the Crackdown, gives me back my monster, and he's dead. Alright, final 2 replays. So this one is, I believe, the level 4 plus level 3, I think. It was a mirror match. So Yo-Yo plus your Borg. So dumping the dice immediately so the Yo-Yo has a target. Dice changing the level to level 2. Special summoning the Borg. Tributing it to make the level 4 on field. Looking at the top 2. Grabbing myself a Duplicates. Making the Shooter. Shooter revive back. Making Agosha. Making sure to change this to level 6 with the dice. Agosha re-revive. There's your Wing Rider. Alright. Opponent's going to Terrortop. We're going to now summon out our 2 cards just in case we need them. Alright. I'm not really sure where the best time is to negate this stuff, but I kind of just want to, yeah, I want to use the trap card here on this card to make sure that this thing wouldn't actually get its effect off, because it needs actually something on field to use its effect. Summons a Yo-Yo, we're now going to negate that. This means he only has a tuner on field, and I'm not really sure how he tries to extend further outside of recovery, which we already have a Blizzard for. He's already used the level 3 special summon, so I'm not really sure what else he could do to extend with just a tuner on field. And on to our final replay, which is the brickiest of brick hands. This is a hand where you open just your Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo and nothing else. Which is does still end on end field, it's just not a very good one. Slightly better than it used to be though, because now you end on an end field that has follow-up, whereas before you would just end on the Crystal Wing. So summon the dice, we're going to put out the Yo-Yo, revive back. These two make Shooter, Shooter brings back the 2 cards. And this time we're going to turn them into a level 4, because we want to summon out the puzzle, so we have follow-up for a following turn, and we can still end on your Clear Wing, bring back the dice, make your Crystal Wing. So not the greatest end field, but it's a very bricky hand, so not much else to do there. At least we have a bunch of back row to help us out. Use Night Beam, we can actually negate that. I thought Night Beam couldn't be responded to, but I guess it can't be responded by something in particular. Oh, I can't activate the targeted card in response. Tries to use it again, doesn't know how Blizzard works. But good try, I guess. Summon his art. Unfortunately, we are going to have to remove that, remove this Neos, otherwise we get Sewer Polyed. So gonna get that off the field real quick. Speaking of which, he still searches for the Sewer Poly. Neos Fusion. Tries to swing in, not sure why you'd do that. I can negate it, then I can gain the attack of the monster, so not sure why you would do that. Alright, then my own turn, I can just normal summon, bring out level 3. I decide to go for the Wing Rider here. Not sure if this is the best way to approach what I was doing, but it's whatever. Go to pop a card, and it doesn't really matter. Alright guys, that's going to do it for these replays. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Now remember, this is a lot of info I'm sort of dumping on you with these combos. So if you do just want to go back and rewatch the combos, just go back and rewatch them. There's a lot of stuff here, and don't be worried if you sort of forget the combos midway through doing them, or you mess them up at some points, because yeah, this deck seems to be a lot more advanced than it was before this new level 3 was released, because it sort of just changed up how this deck combos a shit ton. So yeah, go back and watch the replays if you need to learn the combos a bit more. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the replays. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob? Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis. Oh.